Welcome to our deep dive into 10 UK cities that will be unlivable by 2025. Across the United Kingdom, cities are grappling with unprecedented challenges that threaten the quality of life for their residents. From spiraling housing crises and economic decline to environmental disasters and social unrest, these urban centers are at a tipping point. While the term unlivable might sound dramatic, it underscores the urgency of the issues facing these places. Issues that, if left unchecked, could make daily life unsustainable by 2025. We'll explore 10 cities, dissecting the unique struggles they face and why they've landed on this list. Buckle up as we journey through the UK to uncover the stark realities behind these urban crises. Let's start with London, the bustling capital and a global powerhouse of culture, finance, and history. Beneath its glittering surface, however, London is buckling under pressures that could render it increasingly unlivable by 2025. The housing crisis is the most glaring issue, with average rents for a one-bedroom flat soaring beyond £1,700 per month, far outstripping wage growth for most residents. This has pushed families into overcrowded flats or forced them into temporary accommodations, with over 60,000 households reported as homeless in the city in recent years. The sheer cost of living compounds this, as basics like food, transport, and utilities climb higher each year. London's infrastructure is also groaning under the weight of its 9 million-plus population. Public transport, despite its extensiveness, is a daily ordeal of packed tube carriages and delayed buses, while traffic congestion clogs the streets, pumping out air pollution that regularly breaches legal limits. Speaking of air quality, it's a silent killer here, linked to thousands of premature deaths annually and worsening conditions like asthma, especially among children. Then there's climate change. The Thames Barrier has shielded London from flooding so far, but rising sea levels and more frequent storms threaten to overwhelm it. Heat waves, too, are intensifying, turning poorly ventilated homes into ovens during summer months. By 2025, if these trends accelerate without bold intervention, London could become a city where only the wealthy can thrive, leaving millions struggling in its shadows. Next up is Birmingham, the UK's second-largest city, once dubbed the workshop of the world for its industrial might. Today, it's facing a financial meltdown that could make it a tough place to call home by 2025. In 2023, Birmingham City Council declared bankruptcy, crippled by equal pay claims and a failed IT project, leaving a £760 million hole in its budget. The fallout has been brutal. Libraries have slashed hours, community centers have shuttered, and road repairs have been kicked down the potholed road. Residents now navigate streets that resemble obstacle courses, while public transport cuts have left outer neighborhoods isolated. Education and healthcare are feeling the pinch too. Schools lack supplies, and hospitals are stretched thin, with waiting times ballooning. Crime is another shadow over the city, especially in areas like Aston and Handsworth, where muggings and burglaries spike amid poverty and unemployment rates that hover above the national average. Birmingham's regeneration efforts, like the shiny Bullring Shopping Centre, feel like a veneer over deeper decay. The city dreams of attracting tech firms and tourists with projects like the HS2 rail link, but delays and funding woes have dulled that hope. By 2025, if Birmingham can't claw its way out of this financial abyss, its residents could face a city where basic services crumble and opportunities dry up. Manchester, the northern powerhouse reborn from its industrial ashes, is a city of ambition, but it's not without its growing pains. By 2025, these could tip it toward unlivable status. The population has boomed, fueled by students, professionals, and a thriving tech scene, yet housing hasn't kept pace. Average house prices have shot up over 20% in 5 years, locking out first-time buyers, while rents in the city centre rival London's at around £1,200 for a modest flat. This squeeze has birthed a homelessness crisis. Rough sleepers huddle in doorways along Deansgate, their numbers climbing despite council promises. Crime casts a long shadow too, with Manchester recording one of the UK's highest violent crime rates. Neighbourhoods like Moss Side and Longside wrestle with gang activity and drug trafficking, leaving residents wary of stepping out after dark. The city's economy sparkles with media hubs like Media City UK, but that prosperity doesn't trickle down to everyone. Pockets of deprivation linger, with child poverty rates exceeding 30% in some wards. Transport infrastructure, while improved with the Metrolink, struggles to handle rush-hour crowds, and air quality suffers from traffic fumes. By 2025, if Manchester can't build homes fast enough or tame its crime wave, it risks becoming a city divided between the thriving and the surviving. Liverpool, with its iconic waterfront and Beatles legacy, has fought hard to shed its post-industrial slump, but it's still teetering on the edge. By 2025, it could slide into unlivable territory. Economic challenges dominate here, deprivation scars much of the city, with nearly a third of children growing up in poverty. Unemployment hovers above 4%, higher than the UK average, as traditional industries like shipping have faded, and new jobs in tourism and creative sectors haven't fully filled the gap. The cost of living is creeping up, yet wages stagnate, leaving families stretched thin. Housing is a mixed bag. While regeneration has spruced up the docks, affordable options are scarce, and council estates in areas like Everton battle damp and disrepair. Infrastructure lags too. Buses are unreliable outside the city centre, and roads need investment. Crime, though down from its peak, remains a concern, with knife crime incidents unsettling communities. Liverpool's spirit is resilient, seen in its vibrant culture and football pride, but that alone can't fix systemic issues. By 2025, without a surge in investment and opportunity, Liverpool could be a city where potential is overshadowed by persistent hardship. Glasgow, Scotland's gritty heart, is a city of contrasts, warmth, and creativity, clashing with deep-seated struggles. By 2025, these could make it a tough place to live. The Glasgow effect is a chilling term for the city's stubbornly low life expectancy, often a decade below the UK average, tied to poverty, poor diet, and addiction. Over 20% of Glaswegians live in the country's most deprived areas, where crumbling tenements and empty shops paint a bleak picture. So there you have it, UK cities staring down the barrel of crises that could make them unlivable by 2025. By 2025, without bold moves, these urban centers could cross a line where life becomes less about living and more about enduring. Thanks for joining us on this sobering tour. Stay tuned for more insights into the UK's urban future.